Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Jo.Vi Alive here, and I am joined with Zay4.
Buddy.
And welcome back to another episode of Park Spotlight Contest Edition. And today we're going to be looking at Lighthouse Cove, created by Jo.Vi. And here they say, greetings from the rocky coast of New England to the Lighthouse Cove. Based on the locations along shoreline in New England, like Nantucket, did I say that right? Maine, Martha's Vineyard. Nantucket. To name a few, with structures resembling those that can be found in real life. Have fun, Jo.Vi. Okay, so if you guys...
Martha's Vineyard. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Martha's Vineyard is where the president has a official retreat.
All right, well, we're going to go to the president's official retreat, so stay tuned, and let's check it out. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at Lighthouse Cove. The kind of like fishing buildings. They feel...
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool. You can definitely see the style right away. Mm-hmm. Like the little lighthouse. Oh, that's fun. Blinking lights. Super basic, but perfect. Nice. Okay, grand entrance. Yeah, let's see that again. Yeah, that's a good park entrance for the theme. Right?
Yeah, it's simple and basic, but it gets the point across.
Up in the air. I feel like there needs to be a hot air balloon going up behind that. That is in Planet Coaster.
That would have been a nice touch.
Great Nor'easter. Lobster wheel. Aeronauts. Oh my god. Wings over any. Oh my god. Great Nor'easter. Let's hit it up.
This looks like the centerpiece main attraction coaster.
Yeah, we're going on it right away, and that's all your choosing, not mine. You put the coaster there, I'm going on it. We're not turning around. We're not saving it for later. Going on whatever's right there. Ah, there we go.
We've got sort of like a fishing wharf.
Yeah, I could use a little bit more clutter in here. A little bit more fun stuff.
A little more details around the edges of the walls and sort of like make it look like actual doorways instead of just holes in the wall when you're walking through. Probably help. Yeah,
there's just like more of that fishing net and stuff. We got the boats and stuff here. This is nice. A little bit better over here.
Huh?
Oh, cool. So we're launching out of the boathouse. Look at that. That's cool. So we have a torque launch coaster. Look at the results there. G-forces are all tolerable. 2 inversions, 1 airtime. Not a lot of airtime, though. Okay. It's a quick one. 45 seconds. Wait, is that quick for Planet Coaster terms? I think that's quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
All right. Track view? Yeah. Let's go track.
Yeah. Blink and you'll miss it.
I like that. It was smooth. It had a great layout. The way it weaves in and out of the buildings like that, and kind of through the trees. This is phenomenal. My only complaint is it was too short. I wanted more. Yeah.
Exactly. It's integrated well, but it is really short. It just goes through one way, back the other way. I like the launch as well with the water effects. Reminds me of the Californian Screaming now in Credit Coaster at Disney's California Adventure. There's a nice little launch there.
Yeah, the coaster was amazing. I just wanted more of it, and if that's your main attraction, that's a little unfortunate. And that's the interesting thing about this mini park contest is, we've seen coasters that are the size of these mini parks. You know, exploration coaster contest, the dueling coaster contest. Half of those would not have fit in that space, right? So you kind of think to yourself, well, how am I going to fit this coaster in while I build myself a mini park? But oddly enough, from what I've seen so far, what I've recorded so far, there has been some incredibly long coasters that surprised me. And you have to be really crafty. Like that one could have maybe touched around the water a bit more, went underneath us. Like this is a pier, it can go underneath, right? But we didn't build that into our park. That wasn't even considered. This could have been over the water. You know, you could have had this touchdown point where almost there's a centerpiece plaza here. Like imagine that if there's a centerpiece and the coaster comes down, boom, and then it comes up the other side of the Ferris wheel. You could do stuff like that to edge yourself that little bit more distance. You have to find creative ways to make it work. And that's the only way to do it, really. That's cool. Using the wagon wheel with the
yeah, the lights to make it like a little mini Ferris wheel. That's great.
The lobster wheel.
Seen the lobster wheel. I like the big lobster too. It's a lot of fun.
We can check it out. I don't really care too much for a Ferris wheel, but we want to see the park from up above. Oh, hello. What kind of views do they even have on this bucket?
It's not every day you get nice views in New England, but in Planco, every day is a nice view.
Any day now. Oh, these things take up forever to load up because they gotta rotate and let the next person on. Wait, how does that work? They just spawn in. Okay, thank God. Imagine that. Because you know how they load up and unload in real life. It takes forever.
That's how. Oh, I see what you're saying.
They just spawned in. We were like halfway up and they just were like, boop. Could you imagine if it had to do it the real way?
I think it's. I see it now. I seem to recall they do.
It?
I seem to recall they do load up like normally, like just a few at a time.
This is something I've actually never tested. It's funny that we're asking this now. 3.5 years into Planet Coaster, we don't even know how Ferris wheel loads up.
So yeah, it stops, and then see just the oh no, that empties the entire thing.
Yeah, they magically disappear.
You know what? I think it's the bigger Ferris wheel. It doesn't do that. But yeah, I guess the smaller one. Now I want to test the bigger one.
Well, you find out new things every day with this game, right? It's the game, the gift that keeps on giving. That's a lighthouse. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cute.
I would really like to see put in a river rapids below it. So it'd be like a lighthouse in the middle of a lake, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like how the witch one did with the draft.
Right. Yeah. What episode was that called? Switch Realms. Shout out to that one. Yeah, that's where I got the idea from, and that's basically all ideas are, is just building up a collection of things you've seen. So now, I probably would have suggested that had we not seen that.
Exactly. Yeah.
The shack. Okay, and there's a big lighthouse there. Now you were allowed to put one building on the outside. You could have used the lighthouse out there, but I guess you wanted your coaster to wrap around it.
And it makes a nice focal point for theme. So we want the majority of the actual theming for your park to be inside the park.
That's true, and that is kind of the main focus. Okay, you put a light in there. Good. See some nighttime lighting for a little bit here.
But yeah, we don't have web around to keep reminding us.
Yeah, we've forgotten on a few parks. It is what it is, but as long as we're enjoying the content and we feel fulfilled by the end of it, Dad's Burgers, then we're fine. Oh my God, I like it.
I love the name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the name just sells it. I'm not exactly. Do you think it could have maybe just been skinned a bit more? Sort of.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I mean, maybe you could turn it into some big fishing net somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You could some sort of fly fishing, or the arm swinging, sort of representing casting a fishing reel.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure. So that's sort of. I'm not sure if that's what's intended, or me just sort of
Right.
putting my own my own thoughts into their head.
And that's also been a talking point throughout this contest is what's the I don't think a lot of people understood the theme, like what a ride skin meant. And some people are just going, okay, if I integrate that, then that's a skin, right? But that's not really the case, because most of your rides should be integrated on every park that you make. If you really want to take the theme to the next level. Just putting a house around it or whatever isn't necessarily skinning it. And that's the tricky part, is not all of the rides are going to be easy to skin. I guess that's why I think a lot of people are really, really wanting that ride skin contest to return, because it forced people to think outside the box and come up with such creative ideas. Like we saw that one hammer swing coaster being a wrecking ball smashing through a wall, and like, you know, you see some of that stuff and it's like, wow. But what's cool about this contest is you get to actually integrate that wall into your park. We've seen a few where they just use the integration as the theme. You wouldn't be able to do that in a ride skin contest. It required the surrounding area to work. And you get to do both the skin and the integration here. And that's where I was really hoping to see some next level ride skins. But I still see effort here. I see people trying to put something there. Like, this is not just integrated. It has something there, has a house on top, and it's built in there. I don't know why the rides are breaking down, because I have that disabled. It must have been broken down when we loaded it.
I think that's a setting that's on per park. So
I think it's setting per computer. So unless this was broken down when I loaded it, but then there must not be engineers, because we've been in here for 12 minutes now. I think the problem is it was broken when we got here.
Oh, well, mine's running, unless they've got a mechanic to fix it.
Oh, they do. Huh. Maybe you're right then. I haven't seen a ride breakdown in the last 1,000 videos I've recorded, so interesting. I've seen ride checkups. Anyways, we're derailing the conversation. What do you think of the overall park and the theme?
I like the theme. I think they kept two of the theme. I think they could have been a little more details. I know the whole New England building, especially this sort of like seafront, waterfront area, the style is pretty basic. You know, it's much more functional than it is like, you know, stylistic. Right. So it's hard to sort of jazz that up and make it all theme parky and
I agree.
Sort of go kind of crazy and wow on it. So it does end up looking a little bland and generic, even while keeping on theme. But other than that, I think it's good. The coaster, again, would have been fun if it was longer. But other than that, it's a nice, fun layout. It's good.
I agree. You kind of did yourself a disservice by picking a difficult theme that's by default somewhat generic and kind of bland. But you spiced it up with these, you know, fun names. These, you know, the focal point of the lighthouse is really nice, and you kind of you just had fun with it. You tried to come up with, oh my god, and what can I do to make this interesting? You integrated your rides into the buildings as much as you could. How would I go about ride skinning something like this? You know, well, how do you stick to the theme? And that's a tricky thing to do with what you've chosen. So I think you've taken it as far as you could have, but it could just use a little bit more detail and polish along some of the queues and walkways and things like that. But very, very strong effort overall, I think.
I think their foliage, the trees look really nice. One thing I would have recommended is doing more with the terrain, especially around the lighthouse, instead of so many rocks. Mm-hmm. The rocks start to feel really repetitive since it's a park fire, you could have done the majority of that with the terrain.
That is a good point, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you could have done a little bit more of that exterior. Maybe it would have been repetitive to have another lighthouse, but you could have some buoys and one of those party boats out in the lake there. Just something to look at while you're on some of these rides, because we allowed a few things on the outside, right? I think that would have been just a nice little touch of flair at the end. Yeah, well, what did you guys think? You are the judges at the end of the day, so leave your comments down below, and also remember this one for voting day. This was Lighthouse Cove, created by Jo.Vi, and that's going to do it for us in today's episode of Park Spotlight. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye now.
Bye now.